I am so pulling for these guys. I really am. But I'm concerned that the folks at HP Village Partners might be a little naive when it comes to how this town works. Sure, they just haven't talked to the right people. And I would have given them free advice. They could have come to town. They could have listened to the show on 95.7 FM. Heck, they could have streamed it from Dallas while they were down there on the KCMO Talk Radio app. Right? They could have done all that. Whatever it takes. iHeart app, TuneIn app, I don't care. They could have streamed us anywhere. They could have listened to the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. When I heard these guys talk yesterday after the Plaza sale became official on Friday, there was a big press conference yesterday late morning. I thought to myself, I don't think they got the full skinny on how things have been going here in Kansas City for the last few years. I'll play this from KCTV5. You'll hear the voice of Ray Washburn. He is the president of Highland Park Management. That is the group out of Dallas that bought the Plaza. That sale became finalized on Friday. And he realizes, good for him, that issues 1, 2, and 3 are crime, and crime. To get people back down there onto the Plaza. He knows he's got to take care of it. And he talked about addressing it. He talked about getting more security down there. And that's great. But I think he's a little naive in terms of understanding how things have been going on that front in Kansas City.
Well, first thing is we're going to bring a lot of security back to the Plaza.
The new owners wasted no time to improve the safety at the Country Club Plaza. Monday morning, there was an increased presence of security walking around, and that's just the first step.
We're going to have license plate readers throughout the Plaza, so we'll be able to find cars that are going through that shouldn't be there. It'll feed directly to the police department, and we think that'll take care of a lot of the crime.
Oh, it's really that simple, huh? Just going to report like bad guys to the cops and think it's going to be taken care of? Really? You do know this is Kansas City, right? You do know some of the issues that this town has had when it comes to prosecuting criminals and the same bad guys getting arrested over and over and over and over again. Talk to any cop who's on the beat in this town, and they will tell you that is obviously a tremendous problem for them. Even though, and even with their short staff, which is down 300 right now, they still find ways to arrest bad people. And then they arrest them again and again and again. So I listened to that clip from Ray Washburn, the president of the group that just bought the Plaza, Highland Park Management, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, in a normal world, that would make sense. We're going to have security. We're going to have more license plate readers. We're going to then feed this information to the police, and the police will take care of it. And the police might very well take care of it. I mean, you know, they're backed up. They got a lot of things they're dealing with right now, but they might take care of it. But then there's this pesky problem that you've got in the criminal justice system, specifically in the county that the Plaza operates in. And that is the prosecutor's office.
Talk about a bombshell.
You have a completely incompetent, do-nothing prosecutor's office. I don't know what the long-term plans are of Highland Park Management, but if I could bend their ear for 30 seconds, here's what I would tell them. Get active in this prosecutor's race. Don't sit there, don't sit back and say, oh, we're just going to let the will of the people do their thing. If you want to have a safe Plaza, if you really want to turn that place around, I don't care how many chumps you get walking around who act like security, who act like glorified mall cops. I don't care how many license plate readers you guys get around town. If you don't have a competent prosecutor in that county, you have very little chance of success. Those are the facts. That's what I would tell him if I had 20 seconds to talk to Ray Washburn. And I'm sure that, he talked to all the Chamber of Commerce folks who are just, giving them the old song and dance. I'm sure City Hall is not talking about their incompetency the last 4 years and how, they'll say, oh, yeah, we're funding the police at levels never seen, unprecedented levels. And that technically, monetarily is true. But they're not going to tell you how they destroyed the morale of the police department, and they've allowed a prosecutor to take that office and politicize it in ways nobody could have ever predicted in the wake of 2020. And they've allowed it to go on, and no one's made a peep about it. They're not going to tell you about the fact that, this place, the city in particular, hasn't had a jail in going on a decade now, and no one's doing anything about it. Those are the things that we would have, been straight with Ray Washburn and his team on at Highland Park Management. But, I understand. No one hooked up with us, John, on that front.
Yeah, I'm with you there. But at the same time, I think they've touted 2 connections to Kansas City with this group.
Yeah.
So, caveat emptor, huh? Buyer beware. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they'll claim, we know the town, we know the people involved. But, let's be honest. I don't think Clark Hunt and John Sherman had the pulse of what was going on in this county leading up to their April 2nd vote. Sometimes it's good to get the perspective of what's going on the ground. And, I'm going to toot our own horn when I say, one of the few places you're going to get that here.
Yeah, I would infer that if you're touting a local connection in the ownership group, then you better be informed.
Yeah.
You have no excuses then if you're touting that.
No excuse. On the text line, Pete, obviously the new owners of the Plaza skipped Gene Peters Baker, the prosecutor, giving them a tour of the jail in Kansas City. Yeah, very good. Very good. We, of course, there is no jail to tour. 913-408-7957. Pete, no doubt about it. A jail is needed ASAP. And are you hearing anybody talk about it? By the way, by the time you go out there and you actually approve the building of a jail, you're another couple of years out, at least a couple of years out. And all the COVID money this town had. Notice how all the things they could spend on just absolute nonsense. Jail never once came into the equation at all there. What do you got for me, Mark?
One Arrowhead Drive might be up for sale here in a few years.
Gosh, would you stop with that?
It's a good location.
Oh, my goodness. What do you want, some big prison out there at Arrowhead?
It's a big space. They're going to need to do something with it, maybe.
Yeah,
possibly.
just what you want to see driving down 70. Hey, yeah, it used to be home of the Super Bowl champs and a couple of World Series champs. What's it now? Bunch of low-life thugs in prison. We can wave to Uncle Joe as we, drive down I-70.
After Chiefs offseason, though.
Yeah.
Might fit.
Yeah. Oh, brother. I'm pulling for these guys. I really am. I want them to have a tremendous amount of success. But I think they're making this a little more simplistic than it actually is, because I believe they're getting bad information from people who aren't giving them all the facts on what's going on here in Kansas City. On the text line, Pete, 2 points I want to make. What is the license plate reader going to do if there's nobody to enforce it at the time they go through there? And 2, would it help if they put a police substation somewhere in the plaza? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the more the merrier when it comes to having cops in and around areas of high traffic like that. But yeah, I mean, the license plate reader is great, and then you tell the cops and then nothing happens. And then these people are just, all over town. That's the problem. The criminals do not fear prosecution. And until you fix that in this community, you can have license plate readers at every damn corner. It's not going to change. Man, I am really pulling for these guys. I really am. Over at HP Village Partners, they had their first press conference yesterday. They have officially bought the plaza. They have closed it on Friday. They spoke to the media yesterday down there. The mayor, a lot of leaders were down that way. And they talked about crime. I played some of that early this morning. But there's one quote here from this guy, Ray Washburn. He is one of the 4 principals of HP Village Partners, the Dallas firm that bought the plaza. And I read it in the Kansas City Star, and I'm like, dude, I know what you're trying to do, but you don't have to go there. Okay? You really don't. So I don't have the audio of it. I just have the written quote as I read it in the Kansas City Star. Because, of course, this was like read at the top of the Kansas City Star's article because, they're very proud of this. The headline from the Star was, "Can we make this a safe place? Country Club Plaza new owners spell out changes." They write here at a packed press conference Monday, the new owners of the Country Club Plaza laid out sweeping plans to revitalize the 101-year-old Spanish-style shopping district, beset by problems in recent years, but long considered an iconic part of Kansas City's landscape. Here's the quote from Ray Washburn. Quote, "One of the things we pride ourselves about is being placemakers. We create places that are inclusive for everyone." No, you don't. And nor should you want to. The only thing you should care about is creating a place that is inclusive for your customers. That's it. Part of the problem for the Plaza is they've gone down this road of, inclusive for everyone, including people who are there causing trouble and are not shopping and are not dining and are not doing anything to benefit businesses in the area. Stop. And I know, I get it. You got to say all the nice woke-a-doke nonsense. You got to look at your DEI, postcards before you step up in front of the podium. But stop with this. No, your job is to take care of your customers on the Plaza, the people who are there to shop, the people who are there to eat, the people who live there, who spend money there. That's it. Now, that can be anyone of any background, of any, sexual orientation. That can be anybody. But what you need to do is to figure out how to serve and, yes, protect and make those people feel safe. You don't have to be inclusive to everyone. Stop with the, DEI training postcard nonsense. Okay? I don't want to hear that. I know some people feel like they need to say it. But trust me, you got to take care of the people who are there to do business with your businesses. And if you do that, you will have success. That's all you need to worry about. That is all you need to do. So Ray Washburn was there along with partner and his brother-in-law, Stephen Summers, and Mayor Lucas. They were also there on the western edge of the Plaza doing this press conference yesterday. And here is what Stephen Summers had to say about their leasing plans on the Plaza. This from KCTV5.
Previous owners went with a more big box kind of corporate, chainy direction, and our focus is to bring unique brands that don't really exist many places.
Summers says that means they plan to have a heavy local focus with a mix of popular national stores, possibly adding in some high-end retail.
Kansas City is the largest market in the United States without a Gucci and Louis Vuitton store. So, to me, of course, we're going to target that. That could take 5 years.
I didn't know that, by the way. Kansas City, largest market without a Gucci Louis Vuitton store, he says. Now, I'm not necessarily upset about that. Don't much care about that. But I did not know that, for what it's worth. Now, and by the way, I'm sorry I'm saying this, and I'm going to sound like a total fool. Are they now one company, Gucci, Louis Vuitton? I thought they were different companies. So did he say Gucci or Louis Vuitton, or are they one company? I admittedly don't know.
We need to get Funderburk on the line.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't he have a drop about Gucci as well? Oh, my goodness. Find me that Gucci line, by the way, could you please? We're going to have to use that now. If Gucci's going to come back to Kansas City, forget McDonald's or Red Lobster. We're going to have to find Gucci.
You still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted.
That's right. And I'll only be more poor, broke, busted, and disgusted after going to Louis Vuitton or Gucci. Somebody on the text line's got to know the answer here.
They're separate as far as
they're separate. Okay, yeah. So I don't know if he meant
nationalities.
So I don't know what he was
Italian and Vuitton French.
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. I am not here to answer the question or pretend I know the answer. So you can find out for me, but I have no idea, and I readily admit that. So that being said, what do you got for me there, Mark? Oh, I thought you had the drop for me on the Gucci. Anyway, I don't sit here
in Gucci Mane, but
I don't sit here with any opinion on that. I just know this much, that when it comes to the future of the Plaza, yes, you want your high-end shopping, you want your high-end retail, but you also need things that are relatable, local, for normal people. You just do. Because, by the way, if you're Louis Vuitton, if you're Gucci, Are you really going to go down on the Plaza after doing a little research on what's been going on down there? Are you really going to do it? With all the options now on shopping centers you can open up at, is that where you're going to go? Not where I'm going to go. Tell you that right now.
I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton.
There we go. So he never mentioned Gucci. He just said Louis Vuitton. One more time, please.
I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton.
All right.
I ain't worth your Prada.
That's right.
I'm not worth your Gucci.
There you go.
You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters.
Well, how are you supposed to buy the guy a Gucci or Louis Vuitton bag? There's none in Kansas City. That's what I would have yelled back if I was in the congregation. Come on now, baby.
Bring one to the Plaza.
Holy crap. That is just too good, man. That is too good. That'll never get old. We need to have a Pastor Funderburk Day on KCMO. That's what we need. I think it's like August of 22 is when that went viral for our good local pastor here in Kansas City. But anyway, I'm all about the Plaza doing well. Do I think they're a Louis Vuitton away from having massive success? No. Do I think Louis Vuitton would be running to the Plaza? They'd be insane to do that. But I like them shooting high. And I like Pastor Funderburk getting his next Louis Vuitton. I like that as well.